Hey guys, JT Trousdale here with Jaguars. We're getting ready to do a good faith repair video on claim number 07510386696. Today's date is 4/22, April the 22nd. It's currently 66 degrees out. We always like to reference that because obviously if it's too hot, you don't want to be on the roof, you could potentially damage it. And again, if it's too cold, shingles are going to be a little more stiff. Sometimes you can damage it by lifting them. So we always want to make sure we're doing these good faith videos in the appropriate temperature range. Now with this claim, obviously we've got a torn shingle right here. It's broken clear across right there at the bottom. We're going to take and replace the shingle in for it. This is an older roof. Finding a shingle that's going to match exactly is obviously not possible just because of the age, the sun bleaching, and etc. So this is a shingle we're going to be replacing. We're going to have to lift the two shingles above it up to get to the nails to get the rest of that shingle took out appropriately. And then of course the other thing we're going to be looking for too, I've got 4 marks where my nails should be to denote whether this was a good install to begin with or not, because that's all things we want you guys to have access to so that you make the appropriate decision. So with that being said, we will start with getting this one took loose. Now with this pry bar, these are always my favorite. It's got a good wide foot on it. It's a lot less likely to punch through the shingle. Also, you'll see when it sits flat, it's at about a 30-degree angle. We've got up to a 40 or 45-degree angle that we can lift these shingles. We try not to get to that if we don't have to. We want to be as gentle as possible when doing this repair. So with that, whenever I'm going under, you will never see me push up and down. When I'm breaking the shingle loose, you will see me work the pry bar left and right. It's because, again, I want to be gentle and make sure I'm not puncturing through the shingle. Once I get to the nails, I will put firm pressure and feel the nail begin to give away. I will tap the shingle down and then grab the nail head itself directly and pull it up versus trying to get it through the backside of the shingle. So again, we always want to be easy with these things when we're doing them. Now this is an older roof. Most of these shingles are already loose, so this should be a pretty easy process to get it worked loose through there and get this thing ready to lift up. And then again, wiggling left and right, not up and down. Okay. All right, so we're gonna get under here. We got our first nail. Let's see where this one's at. Now, when I lift these up, you'll always see me stick my hand under and spread my fingers out because I want a good wide pressure, not something pinpoint. Like you'll see some people sometimes try to lift it with their fingers. I don't want to do that because I don't want to tear through the shingle because I'm putting too much pressure on one singular point. So I always lift up wide. All right, we got 1 nail, 2 nail, 3 nail, and our 4th nail. All right, so good install. Whoever done this roof before, good job. Good installation on that one. We'll get this thing rolling. Okay, got that one up, pat it down, pull the nail. Nail. Last nail. And our final. All right, that nail's actually already been pulled through. So I'm gonna slide this out and I'll get to that nail. Sorry, these nails up here are catching too. All right, 1. Now, we want to always grab these top nails too, because those nails will be catching the top of that shingle. We want to make sure we got those nails out so that when we put the shingle back, we get a good flush lay down of the shingle. It's not sitting on top of a popped up nail head. Obviously, we want to make sure we're doing this thing right. Now, as you can see already, from barely even lifting these shingles up, I mean, it's already starting to crease. You can literally see a crease line through there, and I'm barely past a 20-degree angle. Again, you can see it coming through here. On top of that, when getting underneath here, this is brittle. I mean, look at that. It's already starting to tear. And it's, again, that's with minimum involvement with that shingle. So, textbook, non-repairable roof. You can see all your nail holes are in the appropriate places, so good install again on those guys that done it beforehand. We get our next shingle slid up and underneath. These are older shingles. They are currently discontinued. So we got a shingle that is the closest we could find to the appropriate width and reveal to match up with these shingles, while we wait for you guys to make the appropriate decision on what needs to be done. Now, we always want to make sure we get these lined up correctly at the bottom, so it's a good, nice lay. And of course, we'll lift these up and get our nails put into place. 1 second, I do apologize. I set my hammer down up here. All right. So, always like to go back with fresh nails. We don't ever want to reuse the old ones. The other thing I always like to make sure we do as well, on top of that, is to not put the nails back in the same nail holes. We want it grabbing fresh decking so that we make sure that those hold. Now, just from lifting it up, you can already hear it wanting to try to break, but you can see the granule coming off of it. And again, we're not anywhere close to a 45-degree angle. All right. Last nail put in. Always want to make sure these are going back in the nail strip so that we got those in there. I always want to try to lift that shingle up enough to where I can get to the nail. It's a good flat lay to it, and I'm not obviously hitting the shingle as I'm trying to do that. Now we got 3 come out of the top. We'll get those put back in, and then we should be about wrapped up on this one. One more for this last one over here on the side. All right, so again, really quick, Dusty, I want you to look kind of right here. Just pull the phone up close. You can clearly see crease markings going across the top of this from lifting that shingle up. Obviously, just you can see the granule literally coming off the shingle. Super, super, super brittle roof. The only reason it's even been this convenient is because we're on a nice 60, 70 degree day. And then of course, again, right up here, you can see your granule coming loose out of it just from lifting it up. Then on top of that, it's starting to tear into the shingles above it just from lifting them. So textbook with what we call a non-repairable roof, because in order to repair this shingle, we're now damaging the 2 shingles above it. We want to make sure that we're not doing that, because that defeats the purpose of the repair altogether. So again, guys, thank you for taking the time to watch it. We always want to make sure we give you guys everything you need to make the appropriate decision for the customer. Again, today's 4/22, 66 degrees on claim 07510388696. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Have a good day.